plan. I say lob it to Ryan Perez in the paint off a couple of screens.
Esquivel to Garcia. Off the deflection. Los Fresnos comes back and wins. Santa Maria will put up a three. Bang! Santa Maria!
There's Warner. Here comes a headed and jam. Counted for two. Field. Adios! And the Falcons win on a walk-off. And it's saved. What a game.
Smack to the left. That is gone.
Lob for Perez. That's my play. Off the backboard. Count it. And a win. And a win. Ryan Perez wins the game for the Santa Rosa Warriors, and they go nuts. And why not? Live once again here from Luke Fruia Motors. I'm Jacob Young. This is Rio Sports Live Network. It doesn't look like it's necessarily from Luke Fruia Motors, but it 100% is. We'll fix a little bit of the camera angle here in a moment's time, but either way, it's going to be an exciting show. We'll talk a lot about, we'll talk about the showcase. We'll talk about the Harlingen Red Crowns. We're going to take a quick break just to fix the camera angle just a bit. Other than that, we will continue here in a moment's time. You'll understand why. Of course, we were a little bit late. We'll be right back after this.
Have a finger-licking good time at the South Padre Island Crawfish Festival. Happening April. Have a finger-licking good time at the South...
Elevation, AT4, AT4X, Denali. Case closed. Fruia GMC, we're professional grade.
Back live, of course. Well, yes, we are at Luke Fruia Motors, the Luke Fruia Buick, GMC, and Cadillac. Different background, of course, but one of the main things that, the reason of why we were a little late was, well, a little miscommunication from here, from our side, all that. Either way, we are live, and finally, we'll be going from now until, of course, 3:30ish, around that time, which will be very cool. Anyways, it's been an interesting time so far. But we'll be right back.
On South Padre Island, how about Starny's hot dogs and more? These dogs are delicious, and they're made the way you want to order. A new place on South Padre, Starny's hot dogs and more. Stop by today.
Fiber, this is our home. Take a look at what we do.
Okay, back. We will be changing, of course, locations here in a minute, but anyways, just trying to get set up and get this thing started because I didn't know how this was going to necessarily work. Everything is okay. Anyways, just trying to start this stream so that we can, get out of here as soon as possible. 2:30 probably will be about 3:20, 3:30 when this stream will end, which is fine. Anyways, going back to all of it, the biggest thing that will really that we're going to be talking about is going to be the showcase. And then the next thing that we're going to be talking about as well is, of course, is the Harlingen Red Crowns. The showcase will be our main story, really, is what we'll be talking about. That's going to be, of course, the topic. But like I said, I still want to talk about the RGV Red Crowns because they just signed a couple more players, and it has so much to do with the RGV, which is why it's such a big thing in general. So anyways, going back to it, starting off with the RGV Red Crowns just for this quick topic for RSL, or for the RGV Red Crowns FC. I signed 2 players not too long ago, and well, of course, announced that they had signed 2 players not too long ago. Of course, the season is getting closer and closer. We're already less than a month away. Once it is May, all of a sudden, we are talking about it not being too long from the season getting to start. Anyways, with the RGV Red Crowns, what 2 players have they signed recently? Well, last Thursday they announced that they had signed hometown Harlingen, Texas native from the Idea Toros and went to Tiffin Academy, Jose Valdez being the forward. Very exciting player right off the bat. They are coming from the Idea Toros. Was the biggest thing that we could really talk about. And of course, Jose Valdez, that was a massive signing in general. And then, of course, you go over to the next one, Savannah Clovers player. Another Savannah Clovers player from Missouri State University, Zach Hargreaves. That's another great signing, midfielder. And why that's such a big deal is because he's been a key component to the team and all of that fun stuff. And, well, you look at it once again, Zach Hargreaves, if you were to look at both of the players, out of Missouri State, 6'1". Midfielder, 6'1" was his height, weight 180, class was a senior class. Hometown Manchester, England. Let me be clear again. Hometown was Manchester, England. This is a great asset to the team for this summer. Out of Missouri State, out of course, the Savannah Clovers, Indiana Wesleyan, and Southern Wesleyan was his previous school before then. So it was in 2022, so he's had 2 years out of professional soccer. And very exciting for this player in general. Out of the transfer market. For the Savannah Clovers. Yeah. And so very exciting once again, but anyways, we'll take a quick break as well, as I believe we are moving to the correct spot. Then everything will be fine. And we'll talk about it a little bit more. We'll talk about this player a little bit more. And we'll be right back after this. Stay tuned.
Sunny Glen Children's Home has provided a place of hope for every child since 1936. If you'd like more information on Sunny Glen and the services we offer, please visit us at www.sunnyglen.org.
South Padre Island. Enjoy endless activities for all ages. Then dance the night away with live music, savor fresh seafood, and discover unique food trucks and shop our charming boutiques. What are you waiting for? Escape the everyday at South Padre Island.
Sherryland ISD, a nationally recognized district focusing on quality and rigorous instruction where every child is immersed in a culture of academic success. Sherryland ISD, excellence is our tradition.
When you study local at Texas Southmost College, you can choose from over 50 associate degree programs, certificates, and workforce training programs, all at the most affordable cost in the Rio Grande Valley. Transfer your TSC credits to a university or start a new career, like Kat Gomez, who graduated from TSC and is now patrolling the streets of Brownsville and serving her community. Register now at tsc.edu/register and study local at Texas Southmost College.
Time to take a new look, maybe your first look at Buick. If smart, hip, and affordable is for you, Buick's your brand. Fruia Buick, Brownsville, Texas.
Truck Techs in Harlingen is your source for lifts, wheels, and tires. Talking trucks of any size, any model, and any year. Specializing in accessories with top-of-the-line products to bring that special look to your truck in a professional way. Lifts, wheels, and tires, with financing available too. Call today or stop by Truck Techs in Harlingen.
My son Leo just graduated from high school, but also with his associate degree from Texas Southmost College at no cost at all. Not having that financial burden was so helpful to our family. That's 2 years we did not have to pay for.
All of my TSC credits transferred to UTRGV, and I am so grateful to go into my major debt-free.
At Marine Military Academy, we educate those who dare to achieve. Those eager to control their future before it controls them. Those who can follow a path so they can eventually make their own. Those ready to join in order to stand out. Welcome to MMA, forging tomorrow's leaders.
South Padre Island. Enjoy endless activities for all ages. Then dance the night away with live music, savor fresh seafood, and discover unique food trucks and shop our charming boutiques. What are you waiting for? Escape the everyday at South Padre Island.
Graduation time. Time to make some decisions. What's next? Can I afford to continue my education? What are my options? At Brownsville ISD Career and Technical Education, you can graduate from high school with a certificate and or license ready to go to work, debt-free. We have a wide range of programs for every student ranging from audiovisual, law enforcement, STEM robotics, electrical, welding, pharmacy, patient care tech, and many more to choose from. That's why Brownsville ISD is the best choice.
Fiber, business or home, take a look at what we do.
The standard of excellence has always been Cadillac, so be iconic and drive one. Fruia Cadillac, Brownsville, Texas.
Have a finger-licking good time at the South Padre Island Crawfish Festival, happening April 12th at the South Padre Island Convention Center. Immerse yourself in crawfish heaven as you taste traditional boils and innovative twists on this Louisiana.
So here we go. Back live we go, this time in our official correct spot. Anyways, we were getting set to talk about the RDV Red Crowns. They've signed 2 players. And the recent But anyways, back to what we were talking about. Should be very exciting with, of course, the signings of these 2 players. Last Thursday, like we mentioned, was a big signing of none other than Jose Valdez, the forward out of hometown Harlingen, Texas, from the IGA Toros, plays for Tiffin University, and should be a really good fit right there. And we're already seeing a lot of forwards. We're probably going to expect to see unlimited substitutions, so that really helps out this team stay fresh throughout the whole entire match. Now, going back to it, we were talking about this player who, well, has a little bit of a history out of Missouri State, is where he, or let's make sure that that is correct really quickly here. Out of Missouri State University, exactly, Zach Hargreaves, and he played for the Savannah Clovers before moving over here. So Zach Hargreaves plays for, well, is the midfielder, birthday of October 18th, 1998, so 26 years of age. His country, well, we read he was out of Manchester, England. We found that out from his Missouri State bio, where he played for in 2022. Appearances, 43 appearances, 3,876 minutes with 4 goals, no assists, 10 wins, 10 ties, so 10 draws really, and 23 losses. Doesn't necessarily have the best rankings, but once again, another midfielder out of the same team. So this is what is looking to be very good. The chemistry already with the Harlingen RGV Red Crowns. They've signed none other than Zach Hargreaves. Well, not too far away, they signed Lindeen, which, if we look at Lindeen once again, going all the way back down here for a split second to where I was, you have this exciting thing, which is Corey Lundin, midfielder. Hometown, of course, out of California. But the biggest thing, Savannah Clovers. The Savannah Clovers, this was pretty cool. With the Savannah Clovers, same team exactly. So he got to play with Hargreaves. And so Zach Hargreaves plus Corey Lundin, I should say, you put them together, they play together. All of a sudden, that's a powerful midfield right off the bat. From either you have your attacking midfielder, you have your supporting midfielder, you probably also have your two left mids and right mids. And then, of course, the center, depending on what the coach even decides to do. So, it's beautiful. It really is absolutely beautiful. That's all really you have to say about it and how this team is getting built and put together and all of this. You have a lot of these strong players. And so I'm really enjoying all of these signings. So much so that, well, you're talking about having a team, yes, in a semi-pro division that could definitely do some damage if coached correctly. And already we have a phenomenal head coach that will be doing exactly that. These players will be playing, their home is going to be in Harlingen, Texas, off of where the White Wings used to play baseball, and so now it's going to be a soccer field, and it's going to look absolutely amazing when it's all said and done, and I'm so excited. Like I've said before, only winners play on what used to be baseball fields, so it's phenomenal. And like I said, Hargreaves, we read his bio. Let's read a bio really quickly on none other than the last signing of last Thursday of Jose Valdez, the forward out of Tiffin University. Jose Valdez, soccer player out of Harlingen, Texas. So just trying to figure it out of this. So it's really, yes, he played for the MLS Next Side Idea Toros U19s. His height was 5'4", 140 pounds. Age, of course, 19. Primary position is a forward. Secondary position is forward. Dominant foot. He has both on his dominant foot. And biggest thing that I really wanted to see from is how he was doing in his next step. But not too much on him, which is fine. It's what we like to see, and so we're expecting to see positivity throughout this team, and it's going to be very exciting. Well, we'll take one break, and when we return, as it's just about to hit half an hour mark, we will be talking about the Real Sports Live Network showcase coming up in 2 weeks. We'll be right back after this. Stay tuned.
With live music from Morgan Wallen Tribute Band, 7 Summers. They'll be
I'm the new athletic director here. I started here 13 years ago, and 13 years ago, our juniors and seniors were in first grade and kindergarten. As they grew through their lower elementaries, I taught them in 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade. And now, I've coached them their freshman year, their junior year, their sophomore years, and even this year, their senior year. That's one of the pluses here at our school. We're such a close-knit family type of community. You go to big schools where kids might just be a number. Here in San Perlita, kids have a name.
Have a finger-licking good time at the South Padre Island Crawfish Festival, happening April 12th at the South Padre Island Convention Center. Immerse yourself in crawfish heaven as you taste traditional boils and innovative twists on this Louisiana specialty. Let the good times roll with live music from Morgan Wallen Tribute Band, 7 Summers. There'll be plenty of fun for the whole family, and oh yeah, plenty of crawfish. It's the South Padre Island Crawfish Festival.
Elevation, AT4, AT4X, Denali. Case closed. Fruia GMC, we're professional grade.
Back we go once again here, and of course now, yes, we are going to 3:30 or around that time, to be exact, 3:20 maybe at the latest. Just due to the fact we started off late, and so I want to give you all at least a full 50 to an hour show like we normally have, and so that is my aim once again. So we're going to say it here. We'll bring you, of course, overtime, and it's going to be fun, but really it's just a regular time to make it a full hour of the show. So going to what our main topic is here this afternoon. We're talking about the showcase, the girls basketball showcase is what we'll start off with from Rio Sports Live Network or 2025. And of course, breaking the news on the rosters for at least on the girls' side. This is what we have posted on Facebook, at least for now. On the girls, for the Rebels team, we have Ariane Solis out of Ed Couch Elsa. Then we have Lilia Rodella out of Brownsville Peace, Madison Borjas out of McAllen Memorial, Arissa Garcia out of McAllen Memorial, as well as Jade Maya out of San Benito, Alyssa Cantu out of Nikki Rowe, with Natalie Rodella out of Brownsville Peace, Dara Howard out of Brownsville Lopez, with Galilea Martinez out of Brownsville St. Joseph. Then you have Daniela Lopez out of Los Fresnos, with Brianna Barnes out of Brownsville Veterans Memorial, Jessie Teresa Brisky out of Los Fresnos, Alina Serrano out of Mercedes. This is going to be a very dangerous team right off the bat. You naming those players, of course, you have in there. It's a good mix. It's not like it's Upper Valley versus Lower Valley this year. So you have a lot of that mix, which is perfect. So Ed Couch Elsa with Brownsville Pace, with McAllen Memorial, with Nikki Rowe mixed in there. It's still going to be a very dangerous team because of the fact, well, you have Alyssa Cantu. Alyssa Cantu has been very dominant around the court. She was very dominant this season, of course, with Nikki Rowe. That's, those are the teams that I got to cover, was the Nikki Rowe Lady Warriors with the Sherryland High School, Sherryland Pioneer, Diamondbacks and Rattlers, and even Lady Mustangs and other teams like that. So got to cover a lot of them. And then, of course, Brownsville St. Joseph, Los Fresnos, Brownsville Veterans Memorial, with Brianna Barnes being on the court as well. Brianna Barnes, as long as she stays healthy during that whole thing, she can be very dangerous on the court as well. If she's shut down, things can go south. But for the most part, a very, very strong player on the court as well. This is going to be a dangerous team to look out for. The Rebels, I believe, won't be making a run to potentially that semifinals and or finals in this tournament here coming up. Then we move on now from the Rebels to none other than the Racers. Remember, we still have, of course, the boys roster to take a look at and to talk and kind of take a deep dive on as well. So a lot more still to talk about for these teams. I'm sure next week you'll most likely have Joe Bowling on the show talking about these rosters as well. Potentially, we'll have to, of course, wait and see. But either way, going back to this, you have for the Racers on the girls' side, of course, Adelie Knight out of Raymondville. Then you have Roxana Rodriguez out of Edinburgh North, with Caden Villarreal out of Harlingen South, Emily Burridge out of Port Isabel, Evan Ayala out of Rio Hondo, with Carly Rodriguez out of Rio Hondo, Mallory Prinz out of STIC World Scholars, Then you move on Anissa Sanchez to Mercedes. Abani Perdomo out of Brownsville Rivera with Kira Poole out of Edinburgh High School. Braylon De La Garza out of Edinburgh High School, as well as Madison Solis out of Edcouch, also with Ani Salazar out of Edinburgh High School. This can be a dangerous team. I wouldn't say that they're going to be the most dangerous team at all, but they can definitely be one of those teams to look out for in the long run. You move on, of course, it's one of those teams that, for the Racers, depending on how the bracket will go, you could see them move on to the final day of play, potentially. All depends on how that bracket goes. I believe just like last year, each team is expected to play 3 games for the first day, and then the last day would be the final. For the Storm, you have Kendra Garcia out of Los Fresnos High School, Miranda Carpio out of Brownsville St. Joseph Academy. You have Andrea Arredondo out of Westaco. You have Montserrat De Leon out of Nicky Rowe. You have Annabelle Rivera out of Edinburgh High School. Amber Sanchez out of Nicky Rowe. Raylani Garcia out of Westaco High School. Yuri Perez out of Edinburgh High School. And Amaris Martinez out of Harlingen. Layla Lopez out of Westaco. Kayla Rodriguez out of San Benito, with Alina Dominguez Gonzalez out of Mercedes, and Savannah Trevino out of Mission Veterans Memorial. And this is another team. But again, all these teams, for the most part, they are so evenly matched, it's difficult for anybody to truly predict a winner. In my opinion, I guess a little bit biased towards the Upper Valley, so I would still give the edge to the Rebels to win the whole thing, but I don't know at this point. It's going to be a very exciting tournament. With this roster alone, this is a team that, if matched up against the Racers, it would legitimately, in my opinion, be a coin flip to see who wins that game, because all these teams are that tight. You start to, as any team, for the Storm, for example, and if they're playing against the Racers, they defend a key player like, I don't even know at this point, Harlingen South's Caden Villarreal. There's still other options to be that dangerous on the offensive front. On the defensive front, same deal for the Racers. So it's one of those situations. This is going to be a really amazing tournament. Going back to it, the Lightning. You have Flores Rivero. Lorechka Flores Rivero on the Harlingen High School team, or on Harlingen High School. Then you have Fedra Naera Tamez out of Science Academy of South Texas. This was a team that was underrated from the start, and then all of a sudden they were able to get on the winning side of things, which was absolutely amazing to watch. Then, of course, you had Lorraine Perez out of Brownsville Rivera, Ariana Garza out of San Isidro, Carly Martinez out of Harlingen High School, Isabel Magallanes out of Westaco, Jasmine Garcia out of Lightford, Brianna Garcia out of Lightford, Sienna Mireles out of Brownsville St. Joseph Academy, Londra Ruiz out of Brownsville Veterans Memorial, Eloisa Cantu out of San Isidro, Lee Contreras out of San Perlita, and Ana Elizondo out of San Isidro. Lightning will have a very tough ride for themselves trying to make it to that next round in general, in my opinion. That's going to be a team that, well, yes, will be very underrated, but at that same time will have a lot of fight in them. But I remember coaching, of course, one of the teams last year, and when they started to get down in a game or anything like that, it was a little bit like shutting down. It was just very difficult to keep up with teams like the Barracudas in general. But here are the Barracudas roster. How are they going to be? Leo Ramirez out of head coach Elsa, Sarah Alonso out of Macedonia Christian Academy, Fernando Saldivar out of Nicky Rowe, Anissa Ortiz out of head coach Elsa, Angie Hernandez out of Idea Edinburgh, Valentina Saldivar out of Nicky Rowe, Riley McClarty out of Harvest Christian Academy, Sanchez out of PSJ Southwest, Tara Smith out of PSJ High School, Eva Villarreal out of McAllen Memorial, Catalina Bernal out of Harvest Christian Academy, Madison Stanfield out of PSJ North, and Sila Flores out of Nicky Rowe High School. For the Barracudas, that's going to be a difficult team as well. Again, you have the Harvest Christian Academy players on this team, not all of them, but for the most part, some of them, and then it is switched up with a couple of PSJ Southwest and PSJ High School players, but then you have a couple more McAllen Memorial players added to that with Nicky Rowe. It's a balanced team for sure. It's one of those teams that I would say kind of with the Lightning will find a little bit of difficulty to get to that next round, to get to that final day of play in general, but they definitely have the firepower to do that. But that's going to be very interesting for that semifinals on that Saturday, or check that on that Sunday. As for the Breeze, how are they going to be? Layla Gonzalez at Wesco High School, Madeline Noriega out of Mercedes High School, MJ Banjo out of Banyal out of McAllen Memorial, Aaliyah Garza out of Palmview, Briseda Chimley out of Mission Veterans Memorial, Demony Garza at La Jolla, Audrey Ramirez out of Sherryland High School, Alexandria Gonzalez out of PSJ North. Rio Grande City is involved in this one, as well as Angelina Reyes with Jamie Gonzalez out of Harvest Christian Academy, Isabella Canizales out of Mission Veterans Memorial. Again, another tough team. Like I said, it's very even in general. Audrey Ramirez being, I believe, well, different name. She's under Audrey Ramirez in this one, so of course that's what's on Instagram or what's on Facebook, so that's what we're reading to you all right now. For the Breeze, that's your team for the Breeze, and that's going to be very exciting. Like we said, this is about two Saturdays away from this tournament, which 2 Saturdays away also, or 2 weekends away also means Mother's Day weekend, so that's going to be very interesting in itself as well. So getting excited about that. Isabella, of course, a part of this team with Mission Veterans Memorial. This is going to be a difficult team to look down on for sure. But one of those teams as well where they could be eliminated fast in this tournament too, so and go back and forth each side in general. Either way, looking forward to it. Cannot wait for this next portion of this tournament. We'll take a quick break. When we return, we will get you with the next part of